Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today, guys, we're here to talk about profitable NFL teasers. So those of you guys who are new to the channel and never seen me before, my name's Ryan Bender. I'm a professional sports bettor, over 15 years of experience, and I do daily free pick videos. So if you guys are interested, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can get notified of all the free pick videos we give out every single day. All right. Let's talk teasers, guys. Okay, teasers they're so misunderstood, and for the most part, people bet them incorrectly, but there is a correct way to bet teasers. So the bottom line is, guys, if you were to randomly pick multiple teams and tease those games, they have a house edge. The casino has a house edge of anywhere from 10 up to 52%. Imagine a 52% house edge. That's crazy. That's literally every $100 you bet, you can expect $52 of that to go into the casino's pocket. So I will show you guys how to not only negate the 10 to 52% house edge, but actually give yourself a confirmed house edge over Vegas. And really outside of counting cards, where can you find a play where you can literally almost blindly get a house edge? Almost nowhere, right? So, let's talk about this first, okay, guys? So the system we're going to come up with, guys, it's widely known. It was developed by Stanford Wong, and that is why we call it basically the Wong numbers or Wong teasers, okay? So what Wong teasers are, guys, basically in a nutshell, it's taking a number and moving it through key numbers. So taking a line, we'll give an example of taking a line at a +1.5 dog. Okay, so we take a +1.5 dog, the 6-point teaser that we're going to bet, moves it up to 7.5 points. We've taken it through two key numbers, through 3 and through 7. And I'll elaborate that a little bit. I'll elaborate on that a little bit more for you guys. So look, here's some rules for betting teasers, okay? If you're going to bet teasers, guys, NFL only, okay? NFL only, and absolutely no totals, all right? That is pretty much rule of thumb. Basketball, guys, despite the fact there's always people coming out saying, oh, they can beat basketball teasers. Nobody beats basketball teasers. I mean, nobody. The pros think it's a joke, guys. We don't even entertain the idea of ever betting a basketball teaser, okay? Now, what about college football? College football, we see these numbers pop up. College football, guys, has a lot more variance. There's so much more variance in college football in terms of the swings of the points, okay? It's much more common in college football to see, a 22-point underdog win a game outright than you would ever expect to see, a 15-point underdog win in the NFL. So there's so much more variance, guys, and the points are ultimately worth less. They're worth less to move. So that's why we focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is the only profitable way to bet a teaser. There's only one profitable way to negate a 10% to 52% house edge, guys, and that is betting NFL sides, okay? So let me walk you guys through this. First off, guys, we're going to make a couple assumptions, okay? The assumptions are that you can find a sports book that is going to give you a 2-team 6-point teaser, because that is all we do. We do more than 2-team, but 2-team 6-point teasers should be -110, okay? 3-team teasers should be +160, and 4-team teasers should be +260, okay? If you are not getting these odds from your book, you're going to have to do some math and try and figure it out, okay? Basically, at the end of the day, guys, when Stanford Wong gave out these numbers, 2-team 6-point teasers used to be an even money bet. You'd bet 100, you'd win 100, okay? Now the books have gone to -110. The problem is that books are being beaten, okay? They're being beaten, and they don't like to lose. So some of them have gone to -115, okay? At -115, guys, it's still profitable. You can still make money with the teasers, especially this year. This year's been a very good year for it. If your book is giving you -120 or -125, or as I found out today, some of these new age scam books that want to be -130, -135. I saw one -138. Someone commented on one of my videos here. -138. It's impossible to beat those guys. That's basically that sports book giving you a giant middle finger and saying, we're not accepting your parlays here. And if you want to, it's a sucker's bet. I mean, the house edge on that is so astronomical. I can't even begin to think. Maybe I'll try to figure out what that house edge is for you guys and let you know. But honestly, if my sports book treated me that way, I would find a new one. So if that's possible for you guys, I know a lot of these new books, they ultimately know that they're the only game in town right now, and they don't really feel compelled to give people a fair line. And that's all this is, a fair line, okay? They're with a 10 to 52% house edge, you shouldn't be juicing anymore. So shame on those new sports books. But anyways, guys, that's why we educate ourselves, isn't it? So we don't fall for these traps. Let me walk you through, guys, what would you need to win in terms of teasers to be profitable, okay? Ultimately, guys, what you're looking for is right around 72 to 73% of your games need to win. Okay, that might sound like a very high number, but keep in mind, guys, we're getting 6 points, okay? And we're not just getting any 6 points, we're getting key numbers. And that is the importance of Wong numbers and Wong teasers, guys. And I'm going to tell you exactly, this is very, very simple stuff, okay? Now, I will tell you this, if you bet all these numbers I'm about to give you blindly, without any handicapping at all, over the last 5 years, guys, you'd be up, okay? This year, you would have had your best year in the last 5 years. So you'd be up, but I'm going to tell you how to improve that even more. So these are the key numbers, guys, because what are we ultimately looking at doing with these teasers? We are looking at crossing over the key numbers of 3 and 7. We are looking to take something that is below 3 and move it above 7, or take a number that is above 7 and move it below. All right, so we're crossing over those two areas. I'll just give you guys a quick breakdown of the most common totals that NFL games end at, okay? The most common is 3. It's a 3-point difference in the game. Happens about 16% of the time. So 16 out of 100 games will end with a difference being one team has won by 3 either way. The second most common is 7 points, which happens 9.3% of the time. So 9.3% of the time it's 7. So you can see right there, 7, okay, and 3, just those two numbers, over 25% already. 10 is the third most common, guys. We're not really overly concerned about that. What we are looking at, though, is the numbers 4, 5, and 6. Okay, games ending with a score difference of 4, 5, and 6 make up another almost 15%. So as you can see now, guys, the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 make up a difference of 40% of NFL games, how the scores finish. So we utilize that to shift the house edge into our favor by crossing over those key lines. These are the key numbers we have to look for, guys. There's only 6 numbers, and there's only ultimately 6 different results in terms of where those numbers go. Those numbers are as follows, guys. You want to look for underdogs that are getting 1.5 points, so plus 1.5, plus 2, or plus 2.5. Now, why do we do that? Because we're going to get 6 points. And those 6 points are going to take us now to 7.5, 8, and 8.5. Okay, so we've crossed over 3 and we've crossed over 7. And now we have a profitable teaser. Okay, on the flip side, guys, we're going to talk about a favorite. Okay, we have a favorite that's minus 7.5, minus 8, or minus 8.5. We can bring that down below 7, below 3, and now we have a favorite that is minus 1.5, minus 2, or minus 2.5. So that in a nutshell, guys, that is the most simplistic aspect of Wong teasers. But you know me, I don't like to just settle on, hey, let's just blindly bet stuff. I always look for ways to make it better. But those guys are Wong teasers. If you bet those over the last 5 years and beyond, well beyond that, guys, but I'm saying just over the last 5 years, even after the books have made some adjustments, you'd be profitable. On average, guys, there's about 3 opportunities per week. I think it's about 3.1 to 3.2 opportunities every single week to do this. Often what I do, if your book allows you to do it, is I will open numerous smaller teasers. So I'll keep one side open. I'll open multiple bets and just keep one side open so I can carry that over to the following week. You're going to have to check and see if your book will allow that, but a lot of them do. So you can just keep these open bets there and just fill them in as you see fit, right? There might only be one opportunity this week. So you might want to create, rather than just one bet, you might want to create 3 or 4 or 5 open smaller bets so you can fill those bets in the following week. Okay. The only thing I will say, guys, is you start to get later in the season, careful with that, because you don't want to be sitting on open teasers, because if you're sitting on open teasers, there's no opportunities to present themselves in the later weeks. What are you left with? You're left with teasers that you either have to carry over to the following season and basically sit on for a year, or you have to close it out with a disadvantageous play where the house edge will surely beat you long term. So that's one thing to be wary of, guys. All right. So what's another way that we can kind of carry this edge over into our favor? Okay. The bottom line is this, guys. Look, if you blindly bet these numbers, you're marginally profitable. Yes, you can make money. You can eke out a profit. But where I've done well betting teasers, guys, is I'm much more selective than I think a lot of the pros are out there. A lot of pros do just bet them blindly, guys. For me, I've been more selective with how I bet them. For me, I like to see a game that I already like, and I'm certainly not handicapping the other side of, where I would place that bet. Okay, so I'm not going to go into a game where I might like a dog in a certain situation where the favorite is a teasing opportunity. I'm not going to say, okay, I like the dog, but I'm still going to tease that favorite down just so it fits into the Wong numbers. I'm not going to do that, right? So I like that. The other thing, guys, you want to look at maximizing value. So think about this from a straight, EV, expected value standpoint. Okay, when you have a very high total, okay, does 6 points matter less when you have a very high total? Well, sure it does, because it's a smaller percentage of your overall total. And this is something that is overlooked by many, many people, guys, especially and shockingly professionals who just blindly bet the Wong numbers, guys. I will tell you that there are situations where I will bet teasers on higher total games, but it's only because I've capped the game and I really like that side and I see enough value there. By and large though, guys, you're going to find your maximum value if you can find low total games, low total NFL games. We're talking games that, we're not seeing many this year, but in the high 30s, okay? Those are excellent value because those 6 points represent that much more as a percentage of the overall total, okay? In the beginning, guys, I will say, if you would limit your teaser betting to totals of 48 or less, okay? So for totals of 48 or less, I would limit it to that until you feel very confident in your handicapping ability and your ability to beat teasers, where you can start to add in, the odd 50, 51, 52 totals. When you start to see these higher totals, guys, that, the 54s, 55s, you really got to know what you're doing to be able to do those. So that's just a cautionary tale. Guys, do, whatever you want to do with that. Okay, look, what kind of edge are we going to be looking at here? So here's the reality of the situation, guys. Betting these numbers, as long as you're getting the proper odds from your book, you can actually get an edge up to an 8-team teaser. 8-team teaser. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. And as a matter of fact, your edge does grow slightly as you add more games. But the problem is now you're dealing with a significant level of variance. So I would say in the beginning, guys, until you get this down, and by all means, Google this, read up as much as you can on it, guys. There's some good write-ups. There's some great math on this, which you guys know I love math. But you can gain anywhere from a 2% up to a 20% house edge over the house. So imagine, guys, we're taking a 10 to 52% house edge and we're turning it around on them, and we're getting a 2 to 20% edge over the sports book, and that's pretty phenomenal. Okay, so I'll leave you with just something else quickly here, guys. And I see this a lot. Okay, people, they see the 6-team teaser and they think, well, okay, if 6 points is good, 7 will be even better, right? Wrong. Doing the same thing with the same numbers, guys, on a 7-point teaser, nothing's profitable. 2-teamer, 3-teamer, 4-teamer, 5-teamer, they're not profitable. They're expected negative value bets. Okay, so do not be fooled by 7-team or a 7-point. 7-point, guys. It's a strictly amateur bet. Okay, because professionals, guys, know that the 6 points can cross over those key numbers. But amateurs will look at 7 points and think, well, 7 points, what is that? That's a touchdown. So I should take the 7 points, right? Wrong. The odds you're getting from the book, guys, not profitable, not profitable. The other thing, okay, so look, we're only ever going to tease those numbers that I told you guys, okay? But every once in a while, someone will look at a teaser and say, okay, well, look, this team is they're a 3-point favorite, right? I could actually swing them over with 6 points and make them a 3-point dog, right? I could do that. Okay, here's the problem with that. One, guys, it's not profitable. It's definitely not profitable. And the other aspect that a lot of people don't think about is there's really no ties, okay? There's no ties that you get in the NFL. So what are you actually getting? Are you getting a 6-team teaser? No, you are not. And I'll tell you why. I mean, there's rare ties, but you're not. Because what are you doing? You're teasing the line down to 2, then you're teasing it down to 1, then 0. 0, guys, you cannot, basically it's worth nothing. So then you have to tease it up 3 on the other side. That's only 5 points you're getting, because 0, guys, you cannot be betting on the fact that, games are going to tie. So you're really ultimately losing a point there. And it's just not profitable. I know a lot of people like to do it. They think, okay, well, I like them as a 3-point favorite. So as a 3-point dog, I should win, right? Wrong. So you never want to do that, guys. Ultimately, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So again, only NFL bets, only, the key numbers, okay, teasing up from 1.5, 2, and 2.5, teasing down from 7.5, 8, and 8.5. And also, guys, making sure that in the beginning, at least, you're looking for these lower total games. And I will discuss one other thing, guys, that it's starting to become more prevalent. But if your book doesn't do this, you might have a good opportunity to make some great profit, so long as they're offering you proper odds, okay? It's called line shading. Okay, line shading, guys, it's much more prevalent now. I've talked about this in previous videos, but line shading is basically, so I'll give an example here, and I'll give an actionable example in week 15, 2020 season, where, you might have some line shading. So yesterday, guys, in one of my videos, I gave out the first ever teaser on this channel, and it featured Green Bay -8. Okay, so Green Bay was an 8-point favorite. We had them in as one part of the teaser, teasing them down to -2. Now, some of the sports books out there, guys, they line shade. So what line shading actually means is if you look at the lines for the game, Green Bay should be -8, -110. But they're not on these line shading sports books. 5 Dimes, Pinnacle, they do that. These sharper books know to do this to protect themselves against Wong teasers and Wong numbers, right? So what they do instead is they will shade the line from 8 points, and they'll move that line up to 9.5. Now at 9.5, it'll be listed at 9.5, but they'll give you plus 120 or plus 125. So, it basically, you can move that line right back down to 8 and pay -110, which is what a lot of people will do if they're betting the game straight. But what it does, guys, is it eliminates your ability to bet that game as a teaser. And it's one of the reasons as well why I always tell people you want a lot of options to be able to bet different books. Don't just settle on one book, because, if I had settled on one book, and a lot of you guys know I use 5 Dimes a fair amount, Pinnacle, etc., because of the reduced juice, I wouldn't have been able to get that teaser down. So you want to have some other options that you can look at, guys. I will say that, not all the books do shade their lines, which is great. And even with 5 Dimes and Pinnacle, they don't shade all their lines. And I still think they're fantastic books. I know they're not available to US bettors, though. So I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Is it not? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it, guys. So, look, that's it in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions at all about teasers, please leave it down below, and I will I'll get through as many as I can, answer you guys. And yeah, so it's pretty straightforward stuff, but you can really, once you get good at it, guys, once you know, which games you have an advantage, you can get a significant advantage over the house, and you can start to build larger teasers in the beginning. Like I said, I recommend, start off with 2 and 3 team teasers, and eventually you can work your way up to 8 team teasers. And 8 team teasers, guys, I know it sounds crazy, but very profitable. As a matter of fact, I mean, just to start the year 2020, there was a lot of people hitting 5, 6, 7, 8 team teasers, because I believe, and don't quote me on this, please, but I believe the first between 12 to 14 games that were played in 2020 that had these Wong numbers hit. So there were some opportunities early on. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys very much. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Again, I do daily videos every single day, giving away free picks. I do breakdowns, and just try to educate people on sports betting in general. So thank you guys very much. And as always, have a very lucky day.